There was a day I looked at my own reflection in the mirror and didn't recognize myself. Not because I had changed that much, but because I had gotten used to seeing myself through the eyes of those who had hurt me. Let me tell you how that happens. We start out small. 5, 6, 7 years old, we don't know what ugly is. We run, jump, dance, wear whatever we want and don't think twice. The body is just a body. It's there to play, to hug our mother, to feel the sun. There's no right or wrong. No too big, too small, too fat, too wide. Then someone comes along. Sometimes it's a classmate. Sometimes it's a well-meaning relative. Sometimes it's a teacher who spoke without thinking. Sometimes it's the entire society speaking at once through a magazine, a television commercial, a social media post. And that voice says, "You're not right. That body isn't the right one. You need to hide." And we believe it. 'Cause when we're children, we believe everything the adult world tells us. When we're teenagers, we believe everything the group says. And when we grow up, we've internalized that voice so deeply that it has become our own voice. We don't even notice anymore that those aren't our thoughts. That is the wound left by someone who spoke badly of us once, twice, 100 times until we started repeating it ourselves. I learned to hide inside my clothes. I learned that certain pieces weren't for me. I learned to look away from store windows when I saw something I loved, because before even trying it on, I already heard that voice inside me saying, "This isn't for you." I learned to laugh along when someone made a joke about bodies like mine, because laughing along hurt less than showing I was bleeding on the inside. You know what's most cruel about all of this? We learned to do the dirty work ourselves. Whoever hurt us doesn't need to be present anymore. We already take care of diminishing ourselves on our own. We walk into the store and don't even ask for the larger size. We step out of the frame before the photo is taken. We cancel the plan because we have nothing to wear. And the world doesn't need to laugh anymore. We laugh at ourselves first. But there was a moment. A specific moment I want you to understand, because maybe you've lived it too, or you still will. It was an ordinary morning. Nothing special. I was running late, in a hurry, reached into the closet and grabbed the first thing I saw. I put it on without thinking. I glanced in the mirror on my way out the door and stopped. I looked beautiful. Not beautiful the way the internet defines it. Not beautiful because I was thin or because my body had changed. Beautiful because the outfit was so me. It was my favorite color. It was the cut I had always loved. And for 2 seconds before the voice came back, I saw the woman I could be if I stopped sabotaging myself. And then the voice came back. Of course it came back. Said I would look ridiculous. That people would stare. That it wasn't appropriate. That I didn't have the right body for that. But this time something in me answered. It answered quietly with barely any strength. But it answered. What if I go anyway? It wasn't a shout. It wasn't a cinematic turning point with a soundtrack. It was a timid question that planted a tiny seed inside me. And I went. I went wearing that outfit. With my heart racing, waiting for the judgment, waiting for the laughter, waiting for someone to confirm everything the voice had said. You know what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing bad. A coworker told me I looked gorgeous. A stranger on the street gave me a smile. And I realized that the entire world I had built inside my head, that world that judged me and laughed and pointed its finger, was far louder inside me than outside. Psychology has a name for this. It's called confirmation bias. When we believe something, we start seeing only the evidence that confirms that belief. If I believe I look ridiculous, I'll notice every glance, every expression, every silence, and interpret all of it as confirmation that yes, I am ridiculous. And I'll completely ignore all the smiles, all the compliments, all the moments when nobody judged me at all. We live in an imaginary courtroom where we are the defendant, the judge, and the executioner all at once. And the worst part is that the verdict was decided before the trial even began. But here is the part one needs you to hear carefully, with real attention. This is not about losing weight. It's not about changing your body. It's not about waiting until you reach some weight, some measurement, some shape that someone decided long ago was acceptable. That narrative has kept us trapped for too long, and I won't reinforce it here. It's about deciding that you have already arrived. That the body you have today, right now, in this very moment as you read these words, already deserves to be dressed with care. Already deserves the outfit you've been saving for a special occasion. Already deserves the color you always loved but thought drew too much attention. Already deserves to sit in the front row, appear in the photo, take up space without apologizing. Dressing the body you have is a political act. It is an act of resistance. 'Cause the entire system profits when you feel like you're not enough. The diet industry, corrective fashion, supplements, procedures that promise to transform you into what you never needed to be. All of it exists and grows because we learn to hate ourselves very early and very well. When you put on that outfit you loved and walk out in it, you are breaking a cycle. You are saying no to an entire chain of inherited, imposed beliefs, repeated until they became your identity without ever truly being yours. I've seen women laugh at other women because of their bodies. I've seen people who never had the courage to wear what they wanted point fingers at those who did. And I understood that whoever laughs is not laughing at you. They're laughing at themselves. At the version of themselves that desperately wanted to do the same but couldn't. They laugh because you did what they didn't have the courage to do. And that is unsettling. Deeply unsettling. 'Cause your courage mirrors their weakness. So when they laugh, know that the laughter has far more to do with the person laughing than with you. You became the mirror of what they wish they could be but still can't. Now let me ask you something carefully and with respect. How much longer are you going to wait? How many summers will pass with you wearing a dark top in the heat out of fear of judgment? How many parties will you attend still unresolved with yourself because the outfit you loved stayed hanging in the closet? How many photos will you ask to be deleted because you didn't like how you looked from that angle? Time passes for real. That is not a cliché. It is the most real thing there is. And one day you will look back and miss a body you never let yourself enjoy. A body that was there, present, healthy, alive, working, carrying you through the world, and that you spent years treating as a problem to be solved instead of a home to be inhabited with gratitude. That woman whose body they laughed at, who was judged, who learned to hide, who carried other people's shame as if it were her own, she is not different from you. She is you. She is me. She is almost every woman who grew up in a world that decided our body is a subject for public evaluation. But she is also the woman who, at some point, decided to stop. Who picked up that piece from the back of the closet? Who looked in the mirror without cruelty? Who walked out the door? Who took up space? Who answered judgment with presence and not with absence? And who discovered, too late for some of the years already lost, but early enough for all those still to come, that the only wrong body is the one you never allowed to be free. You don't need to change to deserve to dress the way you always dreamed. You already deserve it. Now. Exactly as you are.